What if a single moment on stage could shake the entire world, ignite millions of hearts at once, and leave fans questioning whether what they witnessed was real or something far beyond imagination? Could this be the performance that redefines global superstardom as we know it? Or is this just the beginning of an unstoppable wave that no one can contain? Before you dive deeper, don't forget to share your thoughts, hit like, and subscribe, because what you're about to read might change the way you see music forever. The night began like any other highly anticipated performance, yet there was an unspoken tension in the air, a quiet understanding among fans that something extraordinary was about to unfold. As the lights dimmed and the first echoes of sound rippled through the venue, the crowd held its breath. Then, in a split second that felt both fleeting and eternal, Suga stepped into the spotlight, and the world seemed to stop. From that very moment, everything changed. The performance was not just music. It was not just choreography. It was an experience that transcended language, culture, and expectation. With every beat that dropped, every lyric delivered with razor-sharp precision, and every movement that radiated intensity, Suga commanded the stage with a presence that was impossible to ignore. Fans didn't just watch, they felt. They were pulled into a whirlwind of sound and emotion that refused to let go. What made this moment even more astonishing was how quickly it spread. Within minutes, clips of the performance began circulating across social media platforms. Fans from different corners of the globe, from cities that had never shared the same rhythm before, suddenly found themselves united by a single, electrifying moment. The hashtags surged, the views skyrocketed, and the comments flooded in faster than anyone could keep up. Was this just another viral performance, or was it something much bigger? As the footage continued to spread, analysts and fans alike began to dissect every detail. The stage design, minimal yet powerful, allowed Suga's presence to dominate. The lighting, perfectly synchronized, amplified every beat and emotion. But it was his delivery that truly set this performance apart. There was a rawness, an authenticity that cut through the polished surface of the production. It felt personal, almost as if he was speaking directly to each individual watching. And that's when the emotional wave hit. Fans described feeling chills, tears, and an overwhelming sense of connection. Some said it reminded them why they fell in love with music in the first place. Others called it a once-in-a-lifetime experience, even for those watching through a screen thousands of miles away. The emotional resonance was undeniable, and it became clear that this was more than just a performance, it was a moment of collective catharsis. But how did it reach this level? Behind the scenes, this performance was the result of relentless dedication. Suga, known for his meticulous attention to detail and deep involvement in his craft, reportedly spent countless hours perfecting every aspect. From the arrangement of the track to the smallest nuances in delivery, nothing was left to chance. Yet despite the precision, the final result felt spontaneous, alive, and deeply human. This contrast, between control and chaos, precision and emotion, is what made the performance so captivating. It kept viewers on edge, never quite sure what would happen next. And just when they thought they had seen it all, Suga would shift gears, introducing a new layer of intensity that elevated the experience even further. Then came the moment that truly broke the internet. Midway through the performance, there was a pause. A brief, almost imperceptible silence. And in that silence, something shifted. When the music returned, it did so with a force that felt almost explosive. The energy surged, the crowd erupted, and Suga delivered what many are now calling one of the most iconic sequences of his career. Clips of that exact moment went viral at an unprecedented rate. Within hours, millions had watched, shared, and reacted. Influencers, celebrities, and even those outside the usual fan circles began to take notice. The performance crossed boundaries, reaching audiences who might never have encountered his work otherwise. Was this the turning point? As discussions continued to grow, one thing became increasingly clear: this was not just a fleeting trend. The impact was lasting. Music critics praised the performance for its innovation and emotional depth. Industry insiders pointed to it as a benchmark for live performances in the digital age. Fans, meanwhile, continued to revisit the clips, finding new details and emotions with each viewing. There was also a deeper narrative unfolding beneath the surface. For many, this performance symbolized resilience and evolution. It showcased an artist who had continually pushed boundaries, refusing to be confined by expectations. It was a testament to growth, not just as a performer but as a storyteller. Every element seemed to reflect a journey, one filled with challenges, triumphs, and an unwavering commitment to authenticity. And perhaps that's why it resonated so strongly. In a world saturated with content, where attention spans are shorter than ever, it takes something truly special to capture and hold global attention. This performance did exactly that. It cut through the noise, demanding to be seen, heard, and felt. Yet even as the numbers continued to climb and the praise poured in, there remained a sense of mystery. What exactly made this moment so powerful? Was it the timing, the execution, or something intangible that cannot be easily defined? Maybe it was all of those things, and more. As fans continue to replay the performance, sharing their interpretations and emotional reactions, the legacy of that night continues to grow. It has become a reference point, a moment that people return to when discussing the power of music and performance. It has sparked conversations, inspired creativity, and reminded audiences of the profound impact that art can have. And still, the question lingers. If this is what Suga can deliver now, what comes next? The anticipation is almost unbearable. Fans are already speculating about future performances, wondering how he could possibly top what has already been achieved. But if this moment has proven anything, it's that expectations are meant to be challenged, and often exceeded. In the end, what remains is not just a viral clip or a trending topic, but a lasting impression. A reminder that even in a fast-paced, ever-changing world, there are still moments that can bring people together, spark emotion, and leave an indelible mark. So, was this truly the moment that changed everything? Or is it merely the beginning of an even greater story yet to unfold? One thing is certain, the world is watching, and Suga is far from done. And just when it seemed the intensity had reached its peak, something even more unexpected began to unfold. The aftermath of the performance carried a life of its own, growing far beyond the stage where it was born. Conversations didn't fade, they multiplied. Fans who had witnessed the moment live struggled to put their feelings into words, while those who discovered it online found themselves replaying the same clips over and over, as if trying to decode a hidden message buried within each frame. What was it about this performance that made people unable to look away? The answer, perhaps, lies in the subtle details that only became visible after the initial shock had passed. As the world slowed down enough to breathe again, viewers began noticing the intricacies woven into every second. The way Suga's voice shifted between controlled calm and explosive intensity. The almost imperceptible changes in his expression that hinted at deeper emotions beneath the surface. Even the pauses, those brief moments of silence, felt deliberate, as if they were inviting the audience to step closer, to listen more carefully, to feel more deeply. And then there was the storytelling. It wasn't just a performance, it was a narrative unfolding in real time. Each segment seemed to represent a different chapter, a different state of mind. There were moments of quiet introspection, where the energy dipped just enough to create a sense of vulnerability. And then, without warning, those moments would give way to bursts of raw power, pulling the audience back into a storm of sound and motion. This constant push and pull created a tension that was almost cinematic. It kept viewers on edge, unsure of what would come next, yet completely unable to turn away. It was this unpredictability that transformed the performance into something more than entertainment, it became an experience. But the story didn't end when the lights went out.